Greetings, brothers. This is Yellow Commander. I have returned from the walls to assess this Space Marine 2. We shall see if it upholds the Imperium's standards. Like many, I assumed Space Marine was a glorious, one-hit relic. Fun, forgotten, and filed under games we'll never get a sequel to. I expected Space Marine 2 to be decent. What I didn't expect was a game so blessed, so absurdly good, even the Emperor himself issued a holy seal of approval. Upon playing for several hours, and after I consulted the Codex to ensure the game was indeed Codex compliant, I couldn't help but give it a hearty tactical thumbs up. The gameplay is sharper than a power sword at inspection. It's not just satisfying, it's tactically meditative. It's not over the top or trying too hard, it just gets it. An honest, balanced, and earnest depiction of the Imperium. Brutal, bleak, purposeful, just as it should be. The game didn't just meet expectations, it breached them. So much so, I now require emotional support servitors. Leading up to the release, a major potential deal-breaker for me was whether I could toggle my helmet on and off in gameplay. This alone earns the game another tactical thumbs up. In this universe, we value function over jawlines, and I appreciate that. This isn't some modern-day superhero movie with its...
Oh no, the enemy is firing plasma. Quick, remove facial protection so the audience can see I'm acting.
Even little things stood out for me, like the tech marine who greets Titus like an old friend. They're not just emotionless toasters repeating tech prayers. On that note, let's talk about the characters. Captain Titus, proven in battle, efficient, slightly prone to improvisation, but effective. And perhaps it's recency bias talking, but I think I prefer Clive Standon's portrayal of Titus over Mark Strong's. Now don't get me wrong, Mark Strong is an exceptional voice actor, a living embodiment of gravitas. But he did always make Titus sound a bit like your disappointed butler. Clive, on the other hand, brings a grit, a gravel-throated edge. Like this is a man who's been through it, who's tired of bureaucracy, tired of doubt, and more than ready to make someone else tired. Permanently. Because this Titus, he's not just noble, he's wounded, he's a little bitter, and that bitterness sounds perfectly voiced. Your new squad mates, Chiron and Gadriel, are commendable. There's a scene near the final clash with the traitor Marines where one of them roars, "Fall before the might of true Astartes." I almost cried. But crying is inefficient, so instead, I reinforced my emotional bulkheads. However, the scene where Chiron charges the newly arrived Thousand Sons like a lunatic did raise a tactical red flag for me. It was less of a maneuver and more like a tantrum in power armor. But then, there's the noble Captain Acheron, who, for reasons known only to him and the Emperor's unknowable plan, will only ever spare you 3 Space Marines at a time. Meanwhile, there are about 50 fully armed Astartes just loitering around the ship, doing literally nothing. We've got about 3 to 6 Marines on the ground, facing off against the entire Tyranid swarm, and about 47 others are on a coffee break. What is this? Captain Acheron saving Marines for a rainy day? Sorry, brother. We may have dozens of warriors, but only enough plot for 3. Another character returns in the ending, who's been by your side all along. Over the course of this campaign, I began to trust again. My brothers had my back. We fought. We bled. We endured. And then Leandros returned, and so did my trust issues. The moment the chaplain was revealed to be Leandros, it hit. Even though some careless YouTube thumbnail had already spoiled it, with glowing red arrows and 5 reaction faces. But despite the spoiler, it still worked. It adds that unmistakable layer of 40K, the part where even victory comes with a side eye. You survive the swarm and chaos, everyone's cheering, and then, boom, Internal Affairs shows up with a skull helmet and a Crozius. In the Imperium, your greatest enemy isn't the Xenos. It's the guy behind you writing things down. One of my favorite moments has got to be the Hive Tyrant takedown, and here's the twist. It's not even Titus's squad that lands the kill. We're overrun. Tyranids pouring in like someone booted a Xenos anthill. Bolters dry. We're down to fists. Then, right at the brink, Thalassa delivers the kill. Hive Tyrant down. And with it, so falls the entire swarm. Like the Battle of Winterfell, but with better lighting. And it's not just good narrative, it's doctrine. It reinforces the truth behind the spectacle. Victory isn't about one hero. Titus may be the main character, but he's part of the war machine, not a one-man genocide dispenser. If I've got complaints, they're mostly minor. But the biggest? The bolters. They just don't sound right. They should boom, not plink. This is the weapon that speaks for the Emperor. It shouldn't sound like it's asking politely. I want divine thunder, not angry popcorn. And on the subject of bolters, look, I love a good arsenal. But in Space Marine 2, weapons are scattered everywhere like a bolter carnival. Regret your loadout? No problem. Melt-a-gun? Turn left. Plasma? It's lying next to a potted plant. Look, I get it. It's designed to keep things fun, let you mix it up mid-battle. But personally, I like to own my decisions. Call me old-fashioned, but I like to marry my bolter, not speed date it. Pick a loadout, stick with it, adapt, overcome, not swap tools every 5 seconds like I'm assembling IKEA in a war zone. After grinding operations mode for a while, I returned to the main campaign on Angel of Death difficulty. I held the line with minimal deaths. Then I reached the final boss again, only this time got absolutely folded. Repeatedly. Unacceptable. Naturally, I did what any seasoned veteran would. Restarted the entire level on easy, secured a Guardian relic and 2 med packs, then switched back to the hardest difficulty like nothing happened. With proper supplies and fallback options in place, I crushed him. Tactical adaptation at its finest. Cheating? I prefer to call it the Emperor's Mulligan. Some may call it save scumming. I merely followed the Batman protocol. First fight, intel gathering. Second fight, tactical vengeance. For the second time, I finished the game. It was over. Then I installed mods. Now, it's never over. The base game was already solid, brutal, satisfying. The mods didn't just enhance the game, they've now weaponized it against my own free time. They assimilated it. Like the Tyranids, they consumed the base code, studied its strengths, absorbed its weaknesses, and then evolved it into something faster, deadlier, and deeply incompatible with having a personal life. It's glorious, it's addictive, and it's definitely not helping my pile of shame get any smaller. But that's a future problem. For now, thanks to these additions, I can most certainly see myself playing this while we await Space Marine 3. Until then, this game earns the seal of the Emperor's blessing. Remember, brothers, like, subscribe, and offer your devotion in the comments below, for the algorithm, for the chapter, for the Emperor.